What's up, guys? Today is going to be a pretty interesting day. We're going to go ahead and try out a chassis noise detector kit that I got. So check this out. So I mentioned this in the previous video. Here's the full kit. This is a $50 to $60 kit. Okay, they have, as I mentioned, I won't get all into it. They have a $150 kit. They have a $250 kit. The name brand. It looks just like this, guys, and this is just the Chinese copy. And since they get low reviews anyway, as far as quality, I said, fuck it, I'll just order a cheap one and see how it goes. Anyway, what we got is 6. I could have sworn there's more than that. Maybe there's a bonus, I think, for 7. It's a 6 kit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think they gave me a bonus piece, which is killer in case you got a bad one. I don't know why you would. See, it's sealed pretty good in there. So I'm going to clamp this, one to my bevel box, one to my rear end near the carrier bearings, very opposite noise locations, and we're going to go ahead and bring this box in the car while we drive, and we're going to go ahead and see what kind of noise meters we get as it races up on the 2 that we chose. And we also have headphones and sensitivity if we wanted to do that. I've never used that button. That's pretty cool. And you can decide how sensitive you want it to. So and it comes at 10 foot or something like that. 10-foot cords from under the car into your cabin. So we'll see if this all fits. So I'm going to start by removing this undercover here to get access to the bevel and take my time. I want a really nice the better your install on these sensors, the better your results. So I'm going to take off the bottom cover, really look into that bevel box, and I'll show you where we're going to put it and try and get it so there's no vibration. Then try and get the cord all the way up into the passenger seat. I can tape it anywhere I want so it doesn't flop around, and tie wrap it. And we'll see if it'll reach. I'm sure it will with a 10-foot. We'll see though. And then we'll go on a drive and freaking see if this thing even works. Wow. Alright guys, I think this is a pretty sweet spot for this. See, this bracket here goes through, so it's a nice grab. So I'll kind of have this all the way in here, and then I am going to set up some tie wraps, of course, so it doesn't have wiggles and noises, extra noises. So I'll figure out something here. I'll just tie wrap it, whatever, so it's firm. And then all I got to do is connect this wire up to my box upstairs. And with this particular one, I could put the cover back on if I wanted. You know, honestly, this is a multi-week test here that these are going to be on, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to take them off. That's why I'm, taking so much care to install them. And I'm going to get my tie wraps and I'll show you how it looks. And then somehow see if I can wire this out while also getting the cover back on. I just got to get out of the side somewhere. If the cords are long enough, and they should be, because this is the front one. The back one, I'm not so sure my cords are going to be long enough. Alright, since I took like a half hour to run this cable, I'm going to show you the whole thing. So, as you remember where it was clamped, okay? So we go over here, tie up to a little wrap here. Where do we go? We swing up and come like over to this sway, but it is not tight, right? There's a little bit of play. I do know the sway moves. And then again up here, right above that, see, you also have some play, just a little bit of movement, so it shouldn't rip any wires. Then it comes through this little white, through the through the washer box here, just to hold it out of the way of the axle below it. And then it comes up through that little aluminum hole up there. See that? Wait, over here maybe? See that little aluminum hole up there? I can't see what the camera's seeing, sorry. And then I went through that hole, and then we'll see where it comes out on the other side here. Right, then you see we come right up that hole right there. And I just tuck it behind the AC to keep it out of any pulleys. And I go right up here, 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 right up here. Right to there, and we'll somehow get it on this box, even if that box has to fit on my dang dash to reach. I have the rear one in place now. I'll go ahead and show you that, just so everything's locked in. I did tape it up to avoid wind flutter, and I taped it up to avoid wind flutter. And let's see where this thing goes. Let's go into the car. Lest not us forget to examine the IE craftsmanship and artwork right there before we move on. the thing that makes my car sound like a supercar. All right, what do I do down here with the old rear diff? Let's see what we did for this insane test. Oh, I couldn't even find it. It's way over here. Okay, so here's what we got going. We'll give you a kind of a big view, right? So you can better understand it or whatever. So you got your rear diff, Haldex here. I'm confused with those. Yeah, this one is the one I used to do. So see, I got a nice tie on it. It's clamped right now. See, you got your bearings on the inside, right? Hold on, let me go like this. So you got your bearings here and here for these inner axles, right? This is, I believe, now I could easily be opposite. I'm going by memory. I believe this is the one that goes bad much more often, because this one is tight to the diff right here, and the other one is spaced out on the diff, a little more load on this side. I think this is the one. And just like the other one, I also did tie wrap, dude. This does not move, period. So there'll be no extra noises for confusion. It's all about the install for me, just like mods, like installing this package kit detector correctly and as best possible is just going to give me the best results, and maybe if I'm lucky, diagnose my noise. Maybe it won't. Maybe all this is for nothing. Okay, so we come out here. Now I got to be real wary of the exhaust, right? I hope I can focus. I don't know how close I am here. So I came up, I did a double tie at the connector, of course, and made sure it's tight. So just the most important thing, it doesn't loosen up over time and I have to go all the way under here and figure it out. So I always lock in the connector. Then, let's see where we went up here. Okay. So then we did come along the sway bar again, and we cut up here. I've been trying to look at everything that moves and doesn't. Ooh, good, I caught that. I got to cut a tail off this thing right here. That would hit something. I hear that and I panic like shit. That's what happens, guys. But anyway, just a rough idea. I may actually, I'm not going to tie that. That thing moves, right? You really got to think about what moves and what doesn't. That's why I did this. The sway bar moves a tiny bit, sure, not much. And this electric brake stuff does not move at all either. So it is tied between those 2 points that don't move with some slack. This will move a hair. It's not going to do anything. And bottom line, I came out here, and I can get a little more here, but I also wanted to make sure I had some slack here. Now that's a little more slack than I need. Out here, underneath, out to the edge. That's all I did. Up in the sill plate there, the rear sill plate. So that's how this is all mounted. I got to get a cutter right now and do this one snipper before I forget. There. There we go. All right, now I don't expect any movements or any big flaps on my drive shaft. Now that would have been funny. All right, guys. I'm actually doing this. I can hear the loud ticking of the engine in my #1 channel. I'm gonna turn it way down for a minute. Actually, I would turn it off for a minute. I won't be able to hear any howls with the frickin' engine noise. So I need to produce it and then start listening. You just, warm up, get a feel for the noise. Almost got, not quite going fast enough. Here it comes. Shit, right there. 1 is about 3/4. 2. It's interesting, dudes. It's interesting. It's going to be for sure hard to tell. Maybe you can see a little something there. Maybe you can't. I'm on engine channel. I just went 1-2 for quick access. Let me try and get the RPMs lower, which would make it quieter and I can hear better. Hear that little howl right there? You might not be able to hear it on camera. This is pretty fucking interesting. Try and get a noise again. I'm psyched. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna figure anything out in 5 minutes here. This thing, it works. I can hear the engine noise. It's much quieter at the back when I go to number 2. When the exhaust is not pumping, it's pretty silent. So what I need to do is, some proper testing later on, 30, 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour stuff where it was louder. And just see if I can tell a difference between the front of the car and the rear of the car, on which one is more making a howling noise. It could say that it's exactly even, and then it taught me nothing. But what this can also do for you is peace of mind. Like, let's say I don't find anything. Hey, I listened to everything. There's no metal, there's no nothing. It can also work that other way. And if you don't find anything, you go, well, I had super sensitive ears on it. It's definitely not grinding or anything. And then maybe if you're lucky, you can forget about it. I mean, I can't, but maybe you can if you're not quite as OCD about all that stuff. Wait for this guy. Is he going there? You go there? I think I just wanted to show you what it's like with the video, but honestly I probably need to do this myself off camera when I'm really doing it. I was showing you how it all works. It's pretty insane. But see, now the install is the hardest part of this. It's the only part of this, the install. So now that it's in there, it's also taped, strapped everywhere. I'll keep this in. You hear that noise? I sure do. Did you hear that? Come on, that was loud. So yeah, I'll be, going on quiet roads, going out in the mornings. You can hear that, right? It was too loud. Alright, well, I'll just give you the first honest instinct, is that I can't hear any howl noises above the regular noises detected on these sensors. I hear the engine on one, as expected. I hear the nice puff of the exhaust on number 2, as expected. But both of those will drown out any light howl. That could be a problem here. Not a problem. That could be a blocker to stop you and me from finding noises like this. But this thing is cool, man. You know what? If you're gonna get one, I'm gonna recommend this $50 one. I'm gonna put a link right down under there. I almost wasted money on those super expensive ones. This thing works exactly as described. It has a volume knob, it has the headphones. I'm only using 2 of the 6 channels, and I saw it came with 7 sensors, a bonus, in case you break one or lose one. So I was all, really? That's a good deal. And it makes all the noises that you'd expect, the same noises as the more expensive kit. So why the hell are you going to spend the money on that big fancy popular kit that comes to the top of Amazon? Buy this one for 1/3 of the price. If you've also been chasing maybe a wheel bearing, that could be even better for this. 4 sensors, 4 wheels. Take your time, set it up right on all 4 wheels. Go for a drive, activate that noise or that grinding or that howling. Switch between your channels. I mean, you probably can't really see there. You'll have different lights, sensitivities. You have lights and you have sounds. The light triggers how big a sound it is with the stronger light, the more bars. And then you also have the sound, and then you have the 1 through 6 switcher. That's all it is. Super cool. And the middle button is the power off. I'm going to go all the way to power it off and not drain my battery. I'm going to leave this here for a few God damn it. I just got these new Bose headphone insert bullshit. I should have known. Chinese. It keeps popping out, but I wanted the best headphones for this. Obviously, it's not working out. Thanks for watching this so far, guys. This will be a fun adventure. My my coolant housing piece for the coolant sensor at the radiator there, it's still leaking for sure. It hasn't come in yet. It hasn't even shipped yet. So that'll be a few more days. My I'm probably not going to wait till the weekend on that because it is leaking. As soon as I get the part the next day or something, I'll get that video going too. But yeah, this thing works, man. This is going to be really interesting. I could put 4 more sensors anywhere I want to. You know, pretty cool. To end the video, a quick tune update. Not a great one. I had my first tune glitch just about 15-20 minutes ago. I was leaving for Starbucks, right? Just down my own street. I got out almost on the main road, just about. And all of a sudden, I just heard all these kind of pops from the back and everything. And I was all confused. Then I later found out it was misfires on all cylinders. So when I was just cruising along slow, like 25 miles an hour, coming to a stop or whatever, just barely touching the throttle. And then I was just in my line about to go turn right when the car in front of me went, and it just started doing that beep, and then your engine light flashes. And then I pressed the pedal and I'm all... You can get a better explanation on Instagram if you're there, a better sound description. And I went, oh shit, and I just gently eased it. Luckily there's nobody behind me, it's a quiet street. I put it in reverse, started backing up. I was so close to the curb, I took 4 times just to back up and forth a little bit, so I wouldn't just curb a wheel just being silly because I was so confused on my issue and I wasn't paying attention to the curb. So I just said, let me stop and make sure I'm away from the curb. Anyway, I limped it home here about 2-3 minutes, and I turned the car off, and then I checked the codes, and I had the misfires all cylinders, right? I hit clear, started it back up, it worked just fine. But I noticed one important thing. The Apex customization's gone. Obviously, it's related. Something happened, blank, and it just lost all its custom setting crap. You know, I've been pretty good about IE so far. This tune hasn't been super great. It's probably not a secret if you're on all the forums. I'm just hanging in there. Mine's been great mostly. I haven't even got the latest version on my car because I'm afraid to, honestly. Just so much stuff I read every day still. But I'll probably go with like a 3.06 version on this weekend because I saw that weird cylinder thing. And because my customization's gone. The Apex stuff that I use, it isn't in the app. I can try fully closing the app on my phone and reopening it. I don't think it'll change anything, but I'll try. But yeah, I don't know, just work through it. The best thing is I'm not working right now, so I'm not committed to have to get somewhere every day. You know, I'd be a wreck if like my car's breaking down and I got to get to work. So luckily I have some time here to kind of look at this stuff. So whenever my coolant piece comes in, I'll be doing that. The noise stuff, who the hell knows? And this tune stuff now, shoot. I guess I have nothing to lose trying the latest version, right? I'll do that this weekend sometime.